Good morning, Mega Podlings. I am getting the live stream up on my iPad so I could actually read what you guys are saying. Just give me a second here because the camera is just too far away. There we go. And I'm making it louder. I want to make it lower. There we go. Kyle was early. So you can like just come into the chat room before I go live. I did not know that. And Marie is here, and Joe is with her, and Movie Hunter, and Geriatric Geek, and Todd, and Boredom Strikes, and Joey Baseball. All right. Joey says he thought I was rebranding myself as Crazy After Dark. I should. I really like that. I really like that. Just like I like the new Shaft movie. Negro Orlando, when he was on here with me, suggested it should have been called For the Love of Shaft. Much better title. I like that much better. So welcome, guys. Thank you, Boredom Strikes. Thank you. It's really not much of a haircut. I'm losing my hair. There's really not much I can do with it at this point. So, hello, Jeff. Hello, Mike. Fancyland says, love being able to jump over from cinema sickness to here. All right, guys. Marty, again, thank you for that. Thank you. So, hello. Good morning, Mega Podlings. It is Monday, and we are back on this lovely live stream. Lucas says, hi, Joe. I love Muppets. Who's your favorite Muppet? I got a couple. Sam Eagle is one of my favorites. I really love Sam Eagle, but I also really love Sweetums. Man, I love Sweetums. It's just, maybe it's because I'm so big and he's so big, and I'm 6'5", and he's just this big goofy monster. I know, what's not to love? I love Sweetums. And Jeff says, I'm not losing my hair. You are getting taller than your hair. God, the last thing I need to be is any taller. I am too tall as it is. And Lucas says Sweetums is his favorite. I love Sweetums. I got some stuff here. I got, I like to pull some weird things out to show you guys. So I pulled out something here. Sav is in the room. Hello, Sav. Joey Baseball says, does Elmo count as a Muppet? If so, then Elmo. Gotta be honest, I never really liked Elmo. He's starting to grow on me a little. But, I'm an old school 70s Sesame Street guy, so I prefer the old school Muppets. Marty says Shaft 2 should have been called Shaft the Tipping Point. Well, Shaft 2 was Shaft's big score. The new Shaft is actually Shaft 5. And, yeah, there was almost a fourth Shaft movie in the 70s about Shaft going to Israel. They wrote a book. It was going to be a movie. Didn't get turned into a movie. And the title was, I don't think this title would fly today, but the title of the book, and it was going to be the title of the movie, was Shaft Among the Jews, which, that's, I don't know that they would have called the movie Shaft Among the Jews today, but that was going to be the title, and that was the title of the book. You can look that up. But yeah, Shaft in Africa was the last one from the 70s, and then we got the Shaft reboot in 2000. I love the Shaft movies. Mike Clayton asks, were the Peeps good? The pancake Peeps, delicious, but they didn't taste like Peeps. If you like Peeps, they might be a little disappointing because they don't taste like Peeps. They just taste like pancakes. It's like you're eating pancakes with a different texture. I liked them, but they didn't taste very peepy. J2H says, can't stay long, but I'm awesome. Oh, thank you, J2H. Channel's awesome. Thanks to the Peeps recommendation. They were excellent. Thank you. Hey, guys, there's a lot of messages here, so it's hard to keep up, but I just wanted to let you guys know I posted a video last Friday that I'm very excited about. It's sort of like a passion project, I guess you could say. This is my YouTube vanity project, if there is such a thing. And it's the Lunchbox video, the Lunchbox Bunch that I did with Dave Perillo. We've already shot 4 of them, and the plan is to drop them every single Friday, and hopefully we'll shoot more before we run out. Like the goal was, you're not supposed to have an off week. They're supposed to just keep going every Friday, new Lunchbox Bunch video. But we shot 4 in one day to start with. And I don't know what people think. I mean, there were a few comments on it. There weren't as many comments as I was hoping. I was hoping it would be like the next big thing because I'm so excited about it and Dave's so excited about it. And we came up with this a year ago and we just couldn't find the time to get together to shoot the thing. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, please check it out because that is one of the videos I am the most excited about that I have done probably forever. But all right, end of pimping my lunchbox video. So Sab says, how's my birthday week? It was good. I feel older because I have back pain now. I got a back pain Wednesday, so it's like I guess my warranty went out. Boredom Strikes. You were the one who asked me to shoot at Quakertown, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right there? I think it was you. And I did. And it kind of turned into a weird video because it got really pondery and like... introspective, and I don't know. It might be a little. I didn't even promote that one on social media. I put it out on the YouTube feed, but then I didn't like I usually promote it on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I didn't even do that because I'm like, you know what, this video is a little odd. Maybe maybe I want to just kind of pump the brakes. And whoever sees it, but I don't know that that's one I want to just because it was very, very ponderous of me thinking back and like getting very self-reflective, and I don't know. So, anyway. Jeff Hill says, any news on the new Dark Crystal? I haven't heard anything, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Joey Baseball says, Sam Jackson shaft, ? I feel like I missed part of that. I feel like there's a part of that I didn't see. Is the U.S. movie worth the $13 ticket? Oh, is that Us? Is Us worth... Yes, Us is very good. Us is very good. Really liked it. And it was weird going from Shazam to Us because they're such totally different movies. If you can only see one movie, see Shazam. Because Shazam was amazing, but Us was really good. Lucas says, in one video, show us your Pigs in Space set of figures. I'll have to do that. Am I pointing the right way? Nope, they're over there. All right. Yeah, I'm looking the screen I'm looking at. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I wouldn't be a good puppeteer. You got too much monitor work. I got to work on that. Marty McFly says he's a peeping Tom. Yes. Sav asked how my birthday was. It was very good. Thank you, Sav. I appreciate it. The barley soup was good. I was a little disappointed they didn't have chicken corn chowder. It was on the menu and they didn't have it that day. I would have preferred chicken corn chowder, quite frankly, but the barley soup was good. The meatloaf sandwich was amazing. I really like that meatloaf sandwich. Geriatric Geek says, love to see your collections, especially when you were so excited to have them. Thank you. Yeah, I do love my lunch boxes. So, and I have a couple other collections. In the time I've been doing YouTube, there has been one question that has plagued me, and that is, what is this channel? What is this channel's voice? And I wasn't sure. This year I decided it's movies. This is a movie channel. We talk about movies, movies. That's what it is. But then my wife said, no, it's not a movie channel. It's a pop culture channel, and movies are part of pop culture. That's why you can do things like the lunch boxes and things. So, my wife, as always, is one step ahead of me. So, yeah, I guess this is a pop culture channel, not a movie channel. One day I'll know what this channel is. The problem is, when I started off, subconsciously, I think I was copying, like, Adam the Woo, because, he was one of my big influences, and I couldn't be him. I didn't really want to copy him. I wasn't trying to copy him, but I think I was subconsciously copying him. And I can never be him because, for one thing, I don't travel. I don't have much to show you guys. And I didn't really want to be Cinema Sickness either because Cinema Sickness is going to be a much better Cinema Sickness than I ever could because he's really a collector. And for me, if you see my collection, Cinema Sickness said it was quality over quantity. So I don't collect so much as I just want to have the movies I love. So that kind of makes for a boring channel. So I was trying to find what the heck is this? And I guess that's it. It's pop culture. All right. And yes, Boredom Strike says he was the one who suggested Quakertown. Joey Baseball says he didn't care for Dave's anti-cats comments. Joey Baseball, Dave's severely allergic to cats. Severely allergic. When he comes in this, he can't come in this house. He can't come in this house because he's come for my daughter's birthday parties a couple times. He leaves in hives. So it's not like he hates cats. He can't be near them at all. So there we go. It's a shame. I'd love to have the Perillos over more often, but I can't because they can't come here. Joey Baseball said he laughed out loud at the wet floor joke. I'm glad someone laughed at that. It was low-hanging fruit, but I'm never ashamed to go for the dumb joke. Boredom Strike says, I need to watch that Lunchbox vid. I did watch the Shazam review. I'm very excited for that movie. I got to tell you guys a story about the Shazam video. This is a how dumb is Crazy Joe story, because I did something stupid, really stupid. I edited the Shazam and Us review video, posted it to YouTube, but had it set to private. I always, do the tags, the tags and the put in the description and choose the thumbnail. And not until it's ready, like with all that stuff in there, do I set it public. It's always private. So I load it onto YouTube, set it to private, and then I realized I forgot one thing, one little teeny tiny minor thing. I have a bumper of Zachary Levi, star of Shazam, saying, "This is Zachary Levi, you're listening to Megapodtastic." And I wanted to open the Shazam review with a clip of that Zachary Levi audio bit. Movie's already on YouTube. Set to private. I go back, re-edit the movie, plan to re-upload it with the new video. There was a mishap, and I ended up deleting the entire video. And when I say deleting, I mean permanently deleting. It's not on my phone anymore. It's not in the cloud anymore. I permanently deleted this thing. I go into panic mode. All the footage I shot with Dave, all of it gone. Absolutely gone. I'm calling Apple, trying to desperately recover this deleted footage. And I'm panicking for a good half hour on recovering that footage. And then I remembered I already uploaded it to YouTube. So even though I don't have the audio tag that I went in and re-edited in, I have everything else except that on YouTube. And I'm like, I'm panicking, and this thing's already up on YouTube. Just minus that one thing I wanted to add. And I'm like, I am the stupidest person on the planet. So then I went and set it live. I was like, okay, we don't have the audio clip. But I couldn't believe I forgot that I had loaded it to YouTube. I thought it was gone. I thought you guys were never going to see that video. So that was really, really stupid. I am a big dumb dummy. Anyway, Lucas says, do I like Elton John? And it is his 72nd birthday. I don't dislike Elton John. Not a fan, but I don't dislike him. Kind of indifferent. I'm more into punk rock music, ska music, very much into 80s pop. So, James says the Quakertown video was good. Thank you, James. Joey Baseball says, have I seen Maury? Yeah, I can't find Maury. Apparently he wasn't in the theater. I've heard some people didn't understand the ending of Us, but if you don't understand the ending of Us, just shout for Maury. Maury has all the answers, apparently. Geriatric Geek says he agrees with my wife. Thank you, Geriatric Geek. And oh, look at this! My wife is in the chat room. Hello, Christine. I didn't realize. You still there, Christine? Or are you gone? Because I'm behind as it is. That's fun. She doesn't show up in the chat room enough. Anyway. Wait.
I'm watching as I pack lunches.
Did you hear that? She's watching as she packs lunches. There we go. Gary Reed says, yo, Joe, an American here. Thank you, Gary. John Hickey says, thank you, John Hickey. I appreciate it. Jesse asks, what is my favorite guilty pleasure movie? Good question. There's one called Raw Force that's really good. There's something called Wicked Wicked that's really good. The Karate Kid 3 might be my all-time favorite. Karate Kid 3 is so bad, it's phenomenal. I love the Karate Kid 3. It's hilarious, that movie. And I'm really excited because I haven't seen the trailer yet. I think there's a trailer out, but I haven't seen the trailer for Cobra Kai Season 2 yet. But I think Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes is coming back in Cobra Kai, so I'm very happy about that. Mike says, what's my favorite movie that your wife put you onto, and what is hers that I put her onto? She showed me a lot of musicals. She showed me an awful lot of musicals. I'm trying to think. What movie has she shown me that is my favorite? I don't know. Maybe... That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I liked... she showed me some Disney movies I never saw. She showed me the Aristocats for the first time. That was one I hadn't seen. My favorite... her favorite that I showed her... Most movies I show her, she ends at the end of the movie, she goes, it was okay. So I don't know that I've ever shown her a movie that she never saw that she walked away from just loving the movie. I know when I showed her Boogie Nights for the first time, she said, I could understand why you love...
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Anna and the Apocalypse, she says. See, this is when she's watching upstairs, you can ask questions. She'll just shout them down the steps. This is wonderful. Maybe she'll come down and join us when she's done making lunches. I can't make promises, but it's not impossible. What was I going to say? Joey Baseball says, is your wife Chrissy Marie B? Yes, my wife is Chrissy Marie B. Gary says, time for a joke to lighten the mood. What's the difference between a frog and a horny toad? A frog says ribbit, ribbit. A horny toad says rubbit, rubbit. Wow. Well, there you go. There you go. Lucas says, do I like history? Sure. Sure. And I am getting a text message from Rick that says he can't wait till the next time he sees me. We have to chat about us. There we go. Rick, are you watching right now? Because if you have any questions about us, just ask Maury. Maury has all the answers. Anyway. Gary says, actually, your wife might not like my joke. I better find one before the live stream's over. Boredom Strikes, I prefer Karate Kid Part 3 over Part 2. Me too. Absolutely, I agree. Jesse says, Three Ninjas is his favorite guilty pleasure movie. Never actually saw that, by the way. Never seen that. JT Shea in the chat room. Podcasting Zone, JT Shea. Welcome, JT. And JT is a great podcaster. If you're looking for a podcast to listen to, check out his show. Marie says, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. You can hear the cat meowing at the door. Yeah, yep. She's being, he is being loud tonight. Steve asks, are you pre-ordering tickets to Endgame? They're not on sale yet, are they? I definitely intend to. Absolutely. Reptile Dude says, favorite episode of The Next Generation? Wow, that's tough. So many good ones. Yesterday's Enterprise is a classic. Cause and Effect is a good one with the time loop. I always liked the first, the first season of Next Generation was pretty lousy, if we're being honest, but there's one episode in the first season I really love. It's Conspiracy. The episode with the little bugs that take over people. I always wanted to see a sequel to Conspiracy. I was always disappointed they never did a follow-up. That would have been a perfect Next Generation movie. They could have followed up Conspiracy. But Conspiracy is one of my favorites, even though it's from the dark era of Season 1. Jesse says, she shouts off camera like Howard's mom from The Big Bang Theory. I don't think I've ever seen Howard's mom on The Big Bang Theory. I don't watch much Big Bang Theory, but so I've never seen Howard's mom. Noah Kaiser says, first live stream of yours. Welcome, Noah. Happy to have you here. C. Kruger says, the new 80s revolution. Gary Reed says, serious question. With the Disney-Fox merger, do you think that Disney will implode from being too big to manage? I hadn't thought of that. That's interesting. Honestly, I don't know. I think, for one thing, I don't think we're going to see a lot of Fox properties anymore. Because Disney, there's only so many slots where you can release a movie in a year. There's only so many. And Disney releases what is successful for them. Now, Disney has the Touchstone brand and the Hollywood Pictures brands to release more mature content, R-rated movies. But if you've noticed, they haven't used those brands in about 10 years. They really there's no new Touchstone movies. They haven't made a Touchstone movie in years. Because why? Why bother? Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, Pixar movies, Disney animated movies, live action remakes of old Disney animated movies, they're making so much money, they don't have to make anything else. So why are they going to make Alien 7 or Predator 7? They don't really need to. And Christine is here.
I'm here. Somebody asked, yes, the kids have sandwiches.
Here, let me clear that chair off for you.
They finish each other's sandwiches. They don't. I'm only going to stay here for a few minutes and then I'm going to go watch my Supernatural.
Look at this. Finally got her on a live stream.
Well, I was tired of yelling down the stairs.
Podcasting's own JT Shea is in the chat room.
Well, there we go.
Where were we?
I have the monitor.
Marty says Clerks is a guilty pleasure movie. Why is Clerks a guilty pleasure? I would say Clerks is just a pleasure.
You should never feel guilty about watching Clerks, ever.
I agree. I love Clerks. I was an extra in Chasing Amy.
I know you were. You're even on the IMDb.
I am on the IMDb.
It's impressive.
As Crazy Joe. Where was I? C. Kruger says, great channel you would like. Oh, okay. What's the channel? What's the channel, C. Kruger? Oh, the New 80s Revolution is the channel. I will check it out. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to write it down because a lot of times I forget things.
He does.
New
he things all the time.
80s.
Marty McFly. One of them has a raisin toast and cream cheese sandwich, and the other one has a ham and Swiss on wheat. It's very exciting, I know.
Boredom Strike says, I think the last Touchstone movie was Bridge of Spies. That might be true. Now, I think they still use the Touchstone logo when they release DreamWorks movies, because for a while they had a distribution deal with DreamWorks, so I think the Touchstone logo appears on DreamWorks releases, but those aren't really Disney movies. Those are DreamWorks movies. Boredom Strike says, hi, Christine.
Hi! Someone said, movie collector, favorite Harry Potter movie. Oh, the third one. Prisoner of Azkaban.
I like the fifth one. Order of the Phoenix. I kind of saw that as the Empire Strikes Back of Harry Potter.
I mean, let's be real. They're all really good. But the third one's my favorite.
Lucas Milbourne says, if you like history, who is your favorite to learn about? Princess Diana, Jim Henson, or Michelle Obama? Oh, Lucas. Do you really have to ask this? Jim Henson all the way. What do you say? Jim Henson, Michelle Obama, or Princess Diana? Who would you rather learn about?
Princess Diana of the Mascara.
Ooh, good answer. You're wearing your Wonder Woman shirt.
I'm almost always wearing a Wonder Woman shirt. I've got my Wonder Woman pants on, too. Can I show that? My Wonder Woman jammy pants? Because it's mega podtastic, so I'm wearing my pajamas.
I'm wearing my pajamas, too. I got Cookie Monster jammies on.
So yeah, you can call me Christine or Chrissy.
But she doesn't have to call her Johnson.
I hope not. And no, he's not too tall. He's the perfect height so that I don't have to get the stepladder out all the time to reach things that are up high. So that's why I married him.
When we were first dating, I went to her apartment one day and she's like, I'm glad you're here. There's some stuff that I need put up there. And I looked at it and I said, that's been sitting out all week, hasn't it? You were just waiting for me to get here. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't need to pull out a stepladder if he's around. So there you go. The cat's here. You notice he stopped meowing because I came downstairs.
Yep. C. Kruger says, you're cool, Christine.
Why, thank you. So are you.
And Jesse says they haven't used the Hollywood Pictures logo since the 90s. I think that's correct. It was used on a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, it was a lot of Michael Bay movies used the Hollywood movies, right? Or, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there. Marty McFly says, that movie about the train was the last DreamWorks Touchstone movie. The movie about the train. Was that the one with Chris Pine where they couldn't stop the train? And like Denzel Washington? I think I saw that in the gym once. I haven't
Sounds
seen
like a
thing.
Liam Neeson movie.
Yeah. Well, you remember what Dave Perillo called The Commuter? When The Commuter came out, we were doing the podcast, and Dave Perillo called it Taking a Train. Taken.
I take a train every day. Nothing exciting happens though.
Lucas loves you.
Oh, I love you too, Lucas.
And Joey Baseball says, "Hi, Jules."
Yeah, Julie Baby's here.
Jesse says the Pauly Shore movies were Hollywood pictures. Same with Super Mario Brothers. Yes, and I think
like Biodome.
No, that was a Sony picture. But no, like In the Army Now, Encino Man, Son-in-Law. And I think Judge Dredd might have been a Hollywood picture. Yeah. And Cringe Movie Review says, huge fan of your videos. Thank you, Cringe. Appreciate it. We seem to have a lull in the conversation. Movie Duff says hi. So I thought I would show you guys tonight my collection of Mr. T DVDs. A lot of people know I'm a Mr. T fan. So I got my Mr. T DVDs out.
Do they know about your standee that you have over there?
Well, I do have a standee of Mr. T in the corner. I'm not going to move the camera for that, though. But I got my complete collection of the A-Team here that comes in the replica van. And the discs come out the back, all 5 seasons.
Do you love it when a plan comes together?
I do love it when a plan comes together.
Who doesn't?
I got the Dean Martin Celebrity Roasts with Mr. T and Evil Knievel. 2 copies of the religious movie Judgment, because one of them was kind of scratched up. I bought another one. But
you have 2 copies of that.
Yeah, because one was scratched. And then I found another one for $1, and I'm like, oh, this one's not scratched. He plays a bailiff in this.
It's interesting. The cases are different.
Yeah, one of them's from Sony. The other one is from a company called Cloud 10.
Like the colors are different?
Yeah.
And the stuff on the back is different?
Yeah. We got the complete first season of the Mr. T animated series from Warner Archives. I'm still waiting for them to put season 2 out, and they haven't yet. Now this, I own the VHS, but I put it on DVD. And it's Mr. T's Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool. This was the special that introduced the world to the song Treat Your Mother Right. Treat her right. Treat your mother right.
Treat her right.
Mother. There is no other. Yeah, anyway. We got DC Cab here.
As a mother, I agree. You should treat mothers right.
DC Cab. This is something that a friend of mine recorded off TV. This is Mr. T on the Trinity Network talking to the guy who played the Reverend on Amen.
These guys hit the street. Guess what hits the fan? What could possibly hit the fan? This
movie is written by Bob Zamuda, Andy Kaufman's best friend.
Adam Baldwin's in this?
Mm-hmm.
Playing somebody named Albert Hockenberry.
Bill Maher is in that. Marsha Warfield is in that.
Wow. And Gary Busey.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not a cameo appearance by singer Irene Cara. Oh, I'm in.
It's not as good as it sounds, though, I gotta say.
I didn't think
we got the good TV movie The Toughest Man in the World that stars Philadelphia's own... oh, geez, I'm blanking on his name. The kid from... Jeez, I can't believe I'm forgetting the guy's name. Oh. The kid from Jennifer Slept Here. And the first season, complete series of I Pity the Fool, where he's teaching fools some simple rules. So there we go. I'd like to bring something weird out for you, and I brought the complete Mr. And of course I have Rocky 3 on Blu-ray. All right, back to the chat here. Marty wants to know what you named Jules after.
I don't know that he was really named. My ex-husband actually named Jules. We had 2 cats, and I named Jules's brother was named Reese. I named him because Reese's peanut butter cups are my favorite candy, and he was very sweet, so I named him Reese. And he named Jules. I don't know why. I think it's because it sounded like he was like an emperor, like Julius Augustus or something. So sometimes we call him Julius Maximus or just Julie Baby, but he's, just Jules.
If you named Reese Vincent, then you would have had a Pulp Fiction thing going, Jules and Vincent.
Yeah, but anyway.
No. They say curiosity killed the cat. But, oh, come on now, optimistically.
What?
Boredom Strike says, controversial opinion. I thought it was better than the Carl Urban movie.
Really?
Wow, thanks, Jules. Thank you.
Well, he didn't like that. You had too much stuff back here.
Anyway, I think it's more entertaining. I think the Carl Urban movie was probably a better movie, but I thought the Stallone one was actually more entertaining. But I'm a Stallone fan. Joey Baseball asked, did you hear that director Larry Cohen died? I did. I'm going to tell a little anecdote about Larry Cohen. I heard this on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, but this is great. Apparently, Larry Cohen was at he was at some kind of event, and film critic, some of you may have heard this already, film critic Rex Reed was at this event, and they had just watched the movie Q the Winged Serpent, and Rex Reed was really impressed with the performance the lead actor gave. And he was talking to one of the producers, and Larry Cohen was sitting there, and he said, wow, that movie was complete shit, but you had this terrific performance right in the middle of it. And Larry Cohen said, the shit was my idea. Oh, that's a great story. I wonder if it's true. It's one of those stories you wonder if it's true. Gary Reed and Boredom Strikes are having a side conversation now. That's
Nothing
cool.
wrong with that.
Go for
It's
it.
all
Go
good.
for it. Jesse Swarbeck says DC Cab was a Joel Schumacher movie, right? Absolutely, and that's why every shirt that Mr. T wore showed off his nipples. That was a Batman joke, because Joel Schumacher had nipples on the... Never mind. Anyway. Lucas says, when you were singing Treat Your Mother Right, it sounded like you were Dr. Teeth. That is
pretty
not...
much anytime you sing, you sound like Dr.
That is not the first time I've heard that I sing like a Muppet, though.
Yes.
My friend Tom Levy, proprietor of Effin Comics in Upper Darby, he tells me, or Drexel Hill actually, he tells me that I sing like Cookie Monster.
Yeah, okay. Either way would work.
Well, one's Jim Henson, one's Frank Oz, but...
Still a Muppet.
Larry, Movie Duff says, is he still alive? I'm not sure who we're talking about, Movie Duff. Let me know.
Maybe?
Well, Larry Cohen just passed away. Marty McFly says, Mill Creek should put the Hulk show on Blu-ray. Sure. You know what show I want to see Mill Creek put out? Freddy's Nightmares. Freddy's Nightmares, because they're cheap enough, Mill Creek, that I think that could be a Halloween impulse buy. You put that by the counter on Walmart in October, and it's like $20 for the whole series. I could see people being like, it's Halloween, sure, and picking it up. Don't you think that would be a good one? I mean, you're not a horror fan, but like thinking
No, I'm not.
as don't you think like people in the Halloween, people who like horror movies, don't you think that would be like an impulse buy for like $20?
Like people like you?
Well, see, I actually want it. I'm talking about like, it's not that popular of a series. But I think, like, if you made the price point cheap enough, people might buy it as a curiosity because it's got Freddy Krueger. Anyway.
Gary's joke is good. The Borg joke.
Okay. Why did the Borg cross the road? Because it assimilated the chicken. Nice. Do you remember the Lost in Space movie from the 90s when the robot's like, Will Robinson, I will tell you a joke. Why did the robot cross the road? It was carbon bonded to the chicken. That was a great moment in the movie.
Am I a good matchmaker? If by matchmaker you mean sitting on the floor with a 3-year-old and playing like with the little matching tiles, yeah, I'm really good at that. We have a Minnie Mouse matching set, we have a Winnie the Pooh matching set, and we have an Avengers matching set. Very good.
Would you like a water, Christine?
I'll just drink yours.
There's another one right in front of you.
I'll just drink yours.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
This is how, this is what we do. I drink your drinks.
All right. Boredom Strike says Joe Pilato from Day of the Dead passed away today. I read that. I'm actually friends with Marty Skiff on Facebook, and Marty Skiff was friends with him, and he mentioned that. I met Joe Pilato once at a convention in 2005. He was a nice guy. It's sad, very sad, but unfortunate. Sam K says, not sure if you talked about this yet, but your thoughts on Endgame being 3 hours long.
You're never gonna make it without a potty break.
Oh, I'll never make
You're
it.
never
That's
gonna make
a
it.
7 potty break movie right there.
You're never gonna make it.
Yeah, no, I got a bladder like an infant.
Really tall, teeny bladder.
Yep. Movie Duff asks Mr. T. It says Mr. T. He's the one he was asking if he's still alive. Yes, Mr. T is alive and well. He is alive and well. One of these days I'm going to show my whole Mr. T collection. I'll do a Mr. T collection video.
Don't you have a pop over there?
I do. I have 2 pops. Sure, they're on the...
Your little pop jar.
B.A. Baracus is actually right... he's right on the floor there. That's the B.A. Baracus that used to be on my desk at work. I was looking for...
Here?
Yeah, but I also have the Clubber Lang still in the box on the lower level behind the like Sesame Street guys.
Oh God, you're gonna make me dig for it?
Well, you don't have to.
Ugh,
You don't have to.
you got 2 of them one back here?
Yeah, the other B.A. Baracus is back there.
All right, I'm getting it. Oh, I knocked over all your shit.
Well, that happens. E.T. says, will the real Captain Marvel please stand up? Video was very informative and entertaining. Thank you for all the research you've done on that video. No problem. Absolutely no problem. That was a fun one to do. This is a double. I don't usually keep these in boxes, but, you know, my love of Mr. T is something different. So I have one B.A. Baracus.
Something different.
And one in the box and one loose. This one was the one that was on my desk until they got rid of me on the last day of February. And this is the Clubber Lang, which is apparently kind of valuable right now, but I don't know how much this one's worth because the box is a little crushed. Interesting story. I didn't know I had this. I bought this at Wizard World Philly, put it in my box of Mr. T memorabilia, and packaged it up, moved a couple times, ended up in the closet there. So I decided I needed a Mr. T pop and forgot I had that. And at the time, B.A. Baracus was not out yet. The Clubber Lang was the only Mr. T pop. So they said, at work, we were having a Pollyanna. They said, write down 3 things you'd like as a gift. And I wrote Clubber Lang pop, unaware that the Clubber Lang pop was going for like $60. So the guy who got me for Pollyanna is like, you wrote Clubber Lang pop. That thing was like $60. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. And I was disappointed because I'm like, well, I'm not paying $60 for a pop. So I guess I'm not going to get the Mr. T pop now. So then about a month later, I'm cleaning out the closet and I get my Mr. T stuff and I pull that out and I'm like, I've already got this. I had no idea. So
you have so much stuff you don't even know what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked if you like Titanic. I do. He refuses to watch it.
I've never seen.
He will not watch the movie.
Who asked that? If I like Titanic,
I already know the end. Why do I need to watch it?
That's right. Who asked it? Who asked that?
I don't know. It was up there. I'm just reading the questions. I'm not. Actually
Lucas. Okay. Okay, Lucas. I think you must be a new viewer because my view on the movie Titanic
is that it's great.
It's been a bit of a joke around here because my viewers are desperately trying to get me to watch Titanic.
I'm trying to get them to desperately watch Titanic. I mean, how can you always give people grief about criticizing movies that they haven't even seen, and then here you are with this movie that you haven't even seen.
Well, I haven't criticized it. I haven't said it's a garbage movie or anything. Like, I didn't say, it's terrible. I just said I didn't want to see it. I mean, that's different than criticizing it. Anyway. Gary Reed says, Joe, are you a fan of Conan? Or wait, are you asking Conan or Conan?
Arnold
versus Conan O'Brien. I'm a big fan of Conan O'Brien, and I like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan movies. I didn't really like the one with Jason Momoa. And by the way, I heard people say Aquaman was only a hit because of Jason Momoa. Like that movie wasn't good. It was only a hit because of Jason Momoa. And to them, I always say, then how come Conan wasn't a big hit? Because that bombed. If Jason Momoa was such a huge box office draw that anything you put him in is going to make money, how come Conan wasn't a hit?
That's a good point.
Now, I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he contributed to Aquaman's success, but you can't just put Jason Momoa in a movie and say that's going to be a hit. It has to also be a good movie. So
I would agree.
Anyway, Marty says he pities the fool who doesn't own a Mr. T-Pop. Lucas says, I love Snuffy from Sesame Street. Lucas, if you're a new viewer, you've never seen this before. My longtime viewers will have seen this.
Show your Snuffy.
I am going to show Lucas. This here is an actual Snuffleupagus hair that came off the real Snuffleupagus puppet on Sesame Street. And it is one of my prized possessions. So I keep it up here on this shelf.
You probably keep it in a safer place.
I know, but it's like, where are you going to put it? It's a hair.
I don't even put it like in something so that the cat doesn't eat it.
I guess. But anyway.
Because he will.
I know. I got to find a spot for it. Where do you put a hair, though? I don't know. I got to figure that out. C. Kruger says, do you know anyone that's into movies and VHS and B movies and 80s stuff? Well,
other than you?
That would be me. That would be Cinema Sickness. Right off the top of my head. I don't know. You should actually name a lot of people. Go to RetroCon and throw a rock. You'll hit...
Pretty much.
If you've never been to RetroCon... Where do you live, C. Kruger? If you're anywhere near the Philadelphia area, try to get to RetroCon. I don't know if it's in September or October this year, but that's your place right there.
I can look. September
Mike,
or October.
Mike Clayton says you should both pick a movie for each other to watch that the other hasn't seen and let us know your thoughts. Well, Mike,
I've done that.
You've just described our last podcast, which was called Honey, You Gotta See This. I actually just ended the feed because to save money. I think we're going to turn it into a segment on Megapodtastic, but we did a whole podcast about that.
It's not on here. RetroCon's not on here. Did you not put it on the
I may not
calendar?
have added it yet. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, we're talking September, October, you know? Jeff Hill says, did you see the preview of the upcoming Apple TV lineup? I haven't. I know they're doing a reboot of Amazing Stories, which I'm curious about, but not curious enough to get Apple TV. Like, we already get DC Universe, CBS All Access. We're going to get Disney. No way we're not getting Disney.
We have Hulu. We have Netflix.
I could probably do without the Apple service because the only thing so far that really appeals to me is Amazing Stories, and it's not enough that I need. I mean, if I want to see it enough, I could just wait until they're selling the whole season on Vudu or something. But Jesse says, Joe, did you eat the Mr. T cereal in the 80s? Yes, absolutely. I pity the fool who don't eat my cereal. It was a great cereal. Did you eat the Mr. T cereal?
No.
I have a magnet of the cereal box on our fridge upstairs.
He does.
And I can
verify.
And I have a t-shirt. And C. Kruger says, Pee-wee ate the Mr. T cereal. Yes, he did.
He did.
And Joey Baseball says, do you like Mr. T more than CS likes the Spice Girls? Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. He does love him some Spice Girls. What do you think? Do I love Mr. T more than he loves the Spice Girls?
I don't think anybody loves anything more than he likes the Spice Girls.
You're probably right.
I mean, he's like, I don't know. He's next level, I think.
Marty says to put the Snuffy hairs in a bag and tack it into a wall. Maybe. I do have an autographed picture of Snuffy. Maybe like I'll try to mount them together or something. I don't know.
You can put it in the frame.
C. Kruger's in Baltimore. Well, C. Kruger, you're not that far. You should. I've driven down to Baltimore Comic Con. You should drive up to RetroCon. That's the place, man.
2.5 hours. Not bad.
Hard to find the ladies into the stuff. Well, there used to be a dating website called Geek to Geek where geeks go to meet.
And yet that's not where we met.
Yeah, well, I had a terrible experience there. That's where I met my ex-wife. So, but don't let my experience color you because, I mean, how bad can everyone on there be? I mean,
so this man knew that he was going to marry me when we were just texting. Had we actually met yet, or were we still just like texting?
I think it was just still the getting to know you text.
Yeah, and he was being completely open and honest, and he was like, "I have to warn you, I collect toys, and I have some Masters of the Universe stuff." And he sent me a picture of several of his Masters of the Universe figures, like He-Man and Skeletor and stuff like that. So the way I responded to this was the way any rational person would. I pulled my DVDs of the complete series of She-Ra plus the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, and I took a picture of that and sent it back to him. And I think that was the moment that he knew right then and there that I was the one.
And do you remember what we did after our first dinner date?
We watched
the Masters of the Universe movie.
Yeah.
And Twilight.
Yep. I made you watch Twilight.
You made me watch Twilight. You made me watch Twilight.
That movie's crappy. But like, talk about a guilty pleasure movie. There you go.
I'll tell you this. I had never seen Twilight, and everyone trashed Twilight, so I didn't really want to watch it. I watched it. I can't really say I liked it. Like, I didn't really like it. But it's also not as bad as people make it out to be. Like, people make it out to be like it was the worst thing ever. And my attitude was just like, it was kind of dopey. It felt like a cheesy, like, made-for-TV movie.
Let me tell you something. When you read the Twilight books after having given birth and you're nursing a child at 3 a.m. and you're up and you need to do something while you're nursing the child and you're all hormonal and crazy and you're reading the book, it's great. That was my experience with the Twilight series. So then, of course, when the movies came out, I had to go watch the movies. And, yeah, they're not good. But it's a guilty pleasure.
I'm ashamed to admit I've never nursed a child.
Not for lack of trying, though, because she did used to try. When you'd hold her, she would just go, ah.
She did try. I'd be like, dude, you're barking up the wrong tree here. Brandon says RetroCon is September 14th and 15th this year. Brandon, you going to RetroCon? Will I be seeing you there? Because I will. I never miss RetroCon.
What do you say? September 14th,
14th and the 15th.
All right, I'll put it on the calendar.
14th and the 15th.
And, of course, we don't have Jackie.
Jesse Sparbuck says, long lost 80s serials, Ghostbusters, Mr. T, Gremlins. Oh, my God. They had a serial for everything in the 80s. It was a golden age. It was a golden age for cereal.
You really like cereal.
I actually have an unopened box of, well, I mean, this isn't from the 80s, but hang on. I have an unopened box of pop culture cereal down here.
Do you really?
Yep.
What do you have down there? What?
Here.
Oh, well, that's not from the 80s.
It's not from the... I said it wasn't from the 80s, but it's unopened. Avengers Age of Ultron cereal. Yep. Oh, where were we? Joey Baseball says, I saw the Dora the Explorer movie, and my first thought is, when is there going to be a gritty reboot of Blue's Clues?
I don't know that we need a gritty reboot of Blue's Clues, but I will say I
Did we need a reboot of Dora?
I showed the Dora trailer to my elder daughter, who used to love Dora the Explorer when she was little, and she looked at it, and her only response was, "Why is she wearing the same thing she wore in the show?" And I'm like, why wouldn't she be wearing the same thing she wore in the show? That's her iconic outfit.
Yeah, but she's a teenager now,
but
so
it's still
like
just shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, it's like Charlie Brown. He never changes his clothes either. He's always wearing the same thing. Gary Reed says, Joe, have you seen Sniper with Billy Zane and Tom Berenger? You should watch Titanic because it's a very good movie. There's a death that I won't spoil for you. It rhymes with Theo.
I don't think that's really spoiling anything.
It's a Cosby Show reference. Theo. Oh, Theo. It's my Cosby. Everyone does a Cosby impression. Do you do a Cosby impression?
No.
All the Jell-O and the pudding and the Fat Albert.
No.
That's my Cosby. That's a great.
I know.
It's the best Cosby you've heard all day, isn't it?
It's also the only Cosby I heard all day.
I don't lie. Jesse says, I will always have a soft spot for the Masters of the Universe. Me too. I love it. Marty says, so he sent you pictures.
No, I saw pictures of himself first. Because he posts pictures on the online thing, because we were on a dating site, and I saw the pictures there. There was a picture of him in front of the Daily Planet.
The real Daily Planet.
The real Daily Planet.
The one from 1978 Superman the movie.
Yes. So.
Yeah. And C. Kruger says, thank you. If you know any lady looking, let me know.
I will.
You know, I always think Tara first. We got to meet you first. We got to vet you, man. You seem okay.
There's a screening process.
But we can't just go willy-nilly introducing you to people, you know. We don't know you're not a serial killer. Meet me at RetroCon. We'll decide, man, if you're on the up and up. Brandon says, I'm not sure. Last time I was there was when Joel from MST3K was a guest. That was actually vending that time, too.
That wasn't that long
probably
ago.
saw you. That was about 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, not long ago. I actually remember that.
Marty says, Boots isn't wearing boots in the trailer.
He is not. And where's Swiper?
Marty says, hey. And Jesse says, remember that 80s Cosby movie, Leonard Part 6? I always wanted to go to Hollywood and pitch a movie about a spy called Leonard. And then make a couple sequels and see how long it took the studio to figure out that I was secretly making Leonard Part 6 prequels all along without telling them. Like, I thought that would be fun. Yeah.
These are the things you think about.
These are the things I think about. AU says, congrats, Joe. Your wife is a hottie. I agree. The Adventures of Pluto Nash is a guilty pleasure. Gary Reed says, does anyone remember that sitcom that Bill Cosby did in the 90s where he was a retired airline employee? It's on Amazon and it's just called Cosby.
I do vaguely remember that.
Yes.
Vaguely.
And Felicia Rashad once again played his wife. And then he followed that up with the Cosby Mysteries where he solved crimes.
What's your favorite Muppet movie?
My favorite Muppet movie is
All of them.
The Muppets Take Manhattan. I love the
That's
Muppets
a good
Take
one.
Manhattan.
That's probably the one that I mean, I've seen them all, but Muppets Take Manhattan is probably the one that I have the most vivid memories of actually watching more than once. So, that's good.
Interesting trivia about the Muppets Take Manhattan. The restaurant that Kermit and Piggy and Rizzo and everyone worked in was called Pete's Luncheonette. And the same set, the same exterior, and the same name was used in the pilot episode of Seinfeld. Monk's Diner, where they hung out in Seinfeld, they didn't go there in the pilot. They went to Monk's starting in the second episode. In the first episode of Seinfeld, they went to Pete's Luncheonette from the Muppets Take Manhattan. Did you know that?
I do now. And I think you told me that before.
And Jesse says, Ghost Dad was a great Cosby movie. He was also in The Meteor Man. Yes, this is correct. And remember that Disney movie he did, The Devil and Max Devlin, with Elliot Gould?
I didn't see it, but I remember hearing about it.
I remember I didn't like it, and I kept seeing it because like my parents rented it for me because, you know, when back in the day when they would rent VHS tapes for me, you know, when I was a kid, Cosby was safe. How times have changed, but Cosby was safe and Disney was safe. So my parents were like, "Oh, we'll get this Disney Cosby movie," and I watched it, and I'm like, "I don't like that." But then my dad kept putting it on because we rented it, and he's like, "Yeah, you got to watch this. We rented it." So he put it on like 3 or 4 times, and I didn't like it. And then my teacher rented it and showed it to the class in school. So I'm like, I got to keep sitting through this movie, and I can't stand it. Anyway. Movie Collector says, have your daughters seen Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And Kira likes the spin-off, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Marty McFly says Little Bill was good. I never saw, I'm aware of Little Bill, but I never saw it. I should do a video where I go to the prison where he's being held, because it's not far from here. Like I can go and be like, that's Cosby's new home. Right there. So, I don't know.
You really want to make the drive? I mean, it's not that far.
With your snuffy hair, you should draw a picture of him and tape or glue it on.
It's a good idea.
I could do that.
It's a good idea.
Marty says there should be a sitcom where Pepe the Muppet lives with a human family. I would watch the crap out of that. I would
totally watch that. I love Pepe.
I wish they'd bring back Seymour, though. Do you remember Seymour the elephant? When Pepe was first introduced on Muppets Tonight.
Pepe, I'm Seymour.
We're two of a kind. Anyway. Green Bay Wacky says, howdy, never been here. I remember all the Cosby movies. I am 52. Well, welcome, Green Bay. Happy to have you here. Mike Clayton says, who is both of our favorite actors? Well, I got to go with the Shat.
See, whenever somebody asks me about what's my favorite this or what's my favorite that, it's really hard for me to pick just one. There are certain people that I'm like, oh, I really like everything that I've seen them in, or I really like this all of these different songs, or I really like all these different movies. I can't just pick one. Maybe that's a cop-out, but I really can't. I don't know. I can't just say this is the one. That's probably a lame answer.
I liked it. I liked it. Jesse swore. Oh, I also love Jeffrey Combs. I'm a big Jeffrey Combs fan.
I do like lately. I'm on a Paul Rudd kick. I do. I've realized that pretty much everything I've ever seen him in is awesome.
Yeah, everything is awesome as long as it has Paul Rudd in the cast.
Well, he's not in the Lego movie.
Right, I know, but you said everything is awesome. Anyway. Jesse asks if we like the Grumpy Old Men movies. They're fine, but I gotta be honest, I like the Odd Couple movies better, including Odd Couple 2, which Odd Couple 2 is, I think, very underrated.
Original.
There was a great line in Odd Couple 2. Do you remember the line where they're in the car and Jack Lemmon says he has to pee, and Walter Matthau doesn't want to pull over? Do you remember this?
Vaguely.
And finally Jack Lemmon says, "Don't you ever pee?" And Walter Matthau goes, "Every morning I wake up, I piss for a half hour and I'm done for the day."
I do remember that.
Wish I could do that. Gary says, Joe, I have to go, but one last joke for you. How many Romulans does it take to screw in a light bulb? 151. 1 to screw the bulb in, and 150 to self-destruct the ship out of disgrace. Oh, I like that.
This makes sense.
I like that one. C. Kruger asks, how long until Super Chat are available? Not until I hit 1,000. So I still have about 275 subs to go before Super Chatting is an option. I'm more excited about when I hit 1,000 getting the community tab where I could send like basically text messages on YouTube, which I think will be really handy if I'm doing like a live stream with Cinema Sickness. It could be like, hey guys, I'm on the Cinema Sickness stream tonight. And you guys will all see it. And I think that's a very handy tool. I know my friend Jackie over at Super Enthused, she uses that a lot. And I think it's really, really a handy thing. Lucas says, Christine, do you like Celine Dion and Elton John?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, I don't go out of my way to see their stuff, but typically when their songs come on the radio, I do not change it. Hold me closer, tiny dancer.
I think the song goes, who's the boss now, Tony Danza?
That works too.
Anyway.
The answer is me. I'm the boss.
I believe it's Angela. Angela's the boss. Anyway. Green Bay says, I have many, but I am an ultimate Trekkie. All of it, old, new, all. I'm with you, man. I love Star Trek. Huge Star Trek fan. Marty McFly says, Joe, who was your first celeb crush? I'm going to go with Heather Langenkamp, Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you want to answer that one?
Joey McIntyre, New Kids on the Block.
Joey McIntyre.
I admit it. Joey Mac.
Mm-hmm. And I got to interview my first crush, and I'm like, don't tell her that you had a crush on her till after the interview, because she'll bail. But and you can find that interview on this channel. C. Kruger says, I own William Shatner's James T. Kirk Kentucky Bourbon. I did not know such a thing existed, and I now need some.
Now he's going to be on the hunt.
I now need some, man. Marty says, Joe, are you good at a Christopher Walken impression? Not really. Not really. They can change gender spontaneously, and they offer lawn furniture as a come-on.
He cannot do impressions. Do not ask him to do impressions. He can't do them.
It was a horse. It was a horse. You made your choice. You're telling me there's a store in New York that sells Centaur ass wipers? There we go. C. Kruger says, Crystal Head vodka. I have some Crystal Head vodka. Here's it. Oh, you got some there?
We are sitting at a bar.
Crystal Head vodka. Indiana Jones can go on a quest for it later. Oh, boo. Joey Baseball says, she does not like to be called Chrissy, Joey. Don't unleash the anger. She does not like being called Chrissy.
No, that's all right. I don't hate it. It's just everyone called me Chrissy like my whole life until I got to college, and then I decided that Chrissy sounded too babyish. So it was always Christine or Chris. So now typically the only people who call me Chrissy are like my parents. But I don't hate it. If someone says it, I will turn around.
Well, he said that we should call this Chrissy and Crazy After Dark.
Well, there you go. So long as I get the top billing.
Jesse says Kelly Preston in Space Camp was his first crush.
Space Camp's good. We need to show that to Jackie.
We do.
That's a good movie.
What is my favorite Muppet Show skit? Ooh, God, so many good ones. There was one where Frank Oz was a gingerbread man, and he sang, "Feel like I'm made out of gingerbread." And then there was a lineup of like gingerbread men going, uh-huh, uh-huh. I love that one.
I always like The Martians.
Well, that was Sesame Street.
Oh,
but
right,
yeah,
but
they were awesome. They were absolutely awesome. Green Bay says, nice stream, just a short visit. I smashed the like. Oh, thank you, Green Bay. I appreciate it. I think smash that like button is a registered trademark of Negro Orlando, though. So, but he
won't mind.
He won't mind. No, he told me. He actually gave me a hard time because I said, something about people subscribing and hitting the subscribe button, and he goes, no, you gotta tell them to smash that subscribe button. And I'm like, well, that's your line. He's like, No, that's what they got to do. They got to smash it. Boredom Strike says, how about a William Shatner impression? Let me see. What does God need with a starship? I'm asking a question. Who am I? Aren't you God? Don't you know? No, it's the best I got.
That actually wasn't that bad. I'll give you that one. That one I'll give you.
Risk. Risk is our business. That's what this ship is about. That's why we're aboard her. That's not that good.
It's better than the
walk-in. Movie Collector says, am I going to get the Jim Henson Funko Pop? Maybe. If I run into it.
You don't like people pops.
Yeah, I don't really like...
It looks like...
But he's got a beard. And a Kermit puppet.
Oh,
he has a Kermit puppet on his hand. And an Ernie. There's a variation where he has Ernie and there's one where he has Kermit.
This means I'm going to come home one day and both of them are going to be here. That's what that means.
Marty says, Joe, do I prefer Flintstones or Jetsons? I'm going to go Flintstones.
That's a challenging question.
Have you ever heard the theory? There's a theory out there.
The Jetsons. Do you remember the Jetsons, the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Where they didn't have Judy Jetson's correct voice.
You know what happened there?
Yeah, I know what happened there. It's not good. They should have just had it be regular Judy Jetson.
Well, she recorded it.
I know.
Yeah. It was unfortunate.
Tiffany. Not that I mind Tiffany. I have nothing against Tiffany.
If it was Debbie Gibson, you would have been happier.
No, it should have been Judy Jetson.
No, it should have. Janet Waldo. Should have been Janet Waldo. JT Shea says, Moose from You Can't Do That on Television. JT Shea, we were just talking about Moose from You Can't Do That on Television the other day.
Yes. We're having a mohawk, right?
JT Shea, are you saying Moose from You Can't Do That on Television was your first celebrity crush? I'm curious. Because here's the thing. Did you know Moose, Christine McGlade from You Can't Do That on Television, always wore a wig. Always wore a wig. She had a mohawk. She had a mohawk, and that long black curly hair she had was totally a wig. And if you watch it, every time they dumped slime on her, first they would switch it to a cheaper wig because they didn't want to dump slime in the good wig. So her hair always looked awful after the slime hit her because they dumped it on the cheap wig.
Maybe I should do a mohawk.
I'd be all for it. Go for it. C. Kruger thinks you're funny.
Thank you.
C. Kruger says, how's the new Lost in Space show on Netflix? We watched about 3 episodes.
Maybe 4 episodes, and then we stopped because of time.
We want to go back and finish it. It's just, it's a timing thing.
Basically, when there's no children that live here anymore, when they've all grown up and left the house, we'll have time to catch up on all these things. Right,
exactly. Sav says, stick to doing YouTube videos. I wasn't planning to quit. Okay, but thank you, Sav. But Joey Baseball says you're a tough critic.
I am.
Lucas says people are saying Star Wars is a Jim Henson in the company thing. I just wanted to check with you because you know everything about movies. Star Wars was not made by Jim Henson. I mean, Frank Oz worked on it, but no, not Jim Henson. C. Kruger says he trusts your judgment because you're into pop culture stuff. Who knew? His favorite Nick show was You Can't Do That on Television. I loved You Can't Do That on Television, but my favorite Nick show back in the day was Out of Control with Dave Coulier. Oh, I just got the message that my battery is running low. And we have been on for 1 hour and 16 minutes. So with the battery running low, perhaps it's time to start wrapping things up.
You're not going to rap, are you?
I want to rap about a controversy.
No. I meant gifts. We have a bunch of wrapping paper.
Oh, yeah. No, I got some wrapping paper right here. I can.
Wrap.
Yeah, I could.
That's why I wrapped your birthday gift with.
Yeah, I noticed. It's beautiful.
Do some wrapping.
It's beautiful.
Wrap it up.
Anyway. Marty McFly says his first celebrity crush was a bottle of Orange Crush soda with an NFL star on it. All right. All right, guys. Oh, Jesse says Leah Thompson in Back to the Future and Helen Slater in The Secret of My Success. Okay, I'm going to just say here, if we're going Helen Slater, why The Secret of My Success? Shouldn't we go Supergirl?
I would think so.
Anyway. All right, guys. Joey wants to know, what did Christine get you for your birthday? Tickets to see Norm Macdonald live.
Indeed.
And the kids got me... You can see it on my Instagram. The kids got me taco, Triceratops taco holders. Tricerataco.
He was very excited.
Brandon Sullivan says, I just searched Facebook looking for his RetroCon photos, and the first thing in the search was a pic of me and Christopher Dewin. That's interesting. What, on the RetroCon page? Was that on the RetroCon page? I was actually Christopher Dewin's chauffeur that day. I drove him to and from the airport. Heck of a nice guy. Jesse says he enjoyed the stream. We make a great team. I think we make a good team.
We better. We live together.
All right. Oh, and Mike Clayton says, you're telling me single father of one-year-old twins, so watching anything in one sitting is a challenging.
1-year-old twins? Oh, boys or girls?
Yeah, Mike, boys or girls? We want more info. We want more.
Do you need any baby clothes? Because we have a lot.
Aubrey Lockman is here. Hello, Aubrey. Unfortunately, Aubrey, we were just getting ready to close up shop because my phone's going to die. I just got the low battery message. He's got one boy and one girl.
Oh, that's so sweet. And exhausting. Ours are 7.5 years apart in age, and I'm exhausted all the time. Never mind if they're... Maybe it's easier if they're closer together. I don't think it's easier ever. I don't think no matter what, it's easy. But good for you.
You would think that a 11-year-old and a 3-year-old don't have much to argue about, but they find things. You'd be surprised. Marty says this. Justin Scard would say, "Go home and sleep well." You know, Marty, there's a very interesting thing, and I can't get CS to help me out with this. CS has Justin's phone number. I've never met Justin. CS knows him. CS has his phone number. And I'm curious if Justin actually knows who I am or not. Because he's friends with CS, and if he watches CS's videos, I'm in CS's videos. I've been in Adam's videos. Obviously, Justin's friends with Adam. So I'm just curious, does Justin Scard know who Crazy Joe is? And I always tell CS, just send Justin a text and say, hey, do you know who Crazy Joe is? He won't do it. He won't do it. So if anyone out there ever meets Justin Scard, ask him, hey, you know who Crazy Joe is? Let me know what he says, because I have no idea if Justin Scard knows who I am or not.
What happened to the podcast? Is that the Honey, You Gotta See This?
Yeah. Movie Collector's
We're
asking
going to
about
make
Honey.
it a segment here.
Yeah, right? I still have all the episodes. Basically, I killed the feed because it was, I lost my job. We had to save money. I got the episodes still recorded, and we're just going to put them on the same feed as Megapodtastic. We're going to make it a segment on Megapodtastic.
We could do it here.
Or maybe do it on YouTube. Maybe we'll take Honey, You Gotta See This to YouTube. All right. Oh, Aubrey says she watched my recent video. Thank you, Aubrey. I appreciate it. But guys, we got to go because that is going to die. That is going to die. Joey Baseball says, I will spam Justin's TM and ask him if he knows you. Don't spam the guy. I don't want to find out he doesn't know me, but now he does and he hates me. That's not the goal.
That would be counterproductive.
That is not the goal. Joey says podcasts cost money. Yes, hosting them does cost money, unfortunately. YouTube is cheaper than podcasts. It really is. So, all right, guys. We got to go. You want to say it?
Keep wearing those pajamas.